track now that's been sent to me. So I'm going to show you the process that I go through to bring that in here and the few ideas that I use for mixing. So we have the window open here, and you just basically grab the WAV file and just drop it in down and bottom here. So I'll show you how you do that. So I have base file here, and just drop it in right here. We'll analyze it and drop it in. So now it's going to show us edit downbeat and tempo. And if we click the show to show it, it shows how we can make adjustments to the tempo if needed. So I'm going to just say show for now, and it's going to show us all of the tempo here. But first off, we're just going to listen to it and see how it sounds, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to pull this back here. So here's where it gets a little, you got to be careful where you drop this in. Now I've just pulled it in. I thought that I brought it in right at the first measure here, but I didn't. I'm just going to hit play first and just see what it sounds like. It's probably going to be out and I'll have to drag this forward. But let's just go ahead and try that out and see how it goes. Yeah, so as you can hear, it's not right, so I'm pretty sure I got to pull it right to there. Usually, when the guys send me the files, they'll start the file right at the beginning of the measure, and if they're not playing till a little bit later, I'll just have a big blank space like you can see in the section 2 here. So I can just drag it and line it right up at the one. The odd time it's not quite right and you have to fuss around to get it right. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be okay. So let's try that. So as you can hear, that's sounding pretty good. And again, like we talked about before, you can see the definite breaks here are totally in line with the measure. So the 4 lines up nicely, the 3 lines up nicely, and then when you listen to it, you can hear it sounds good. Okay, so we've brought that in. I always save every now and then, just to make sure, so I just did that now. Okay, so I'll show you the process that I go through for getting the bass figured out. So go down to here, we have our bass track. I have a preset track right here called bass guitar. So I'm going to drop that in right now. I have a bunch of plugins already here, and I may or may not use them. I might make adjustments, but it just makes it easier to have them here. And then I can just disable them if I don't need them. I also have a sort of a bass enhancement auxiliary channel that I do, so I'll show you how I do that. So I just leave this here, go here, create new auxiliary strip, which is here. If you hit read, it brings it over to here, so it makes it a little bit easier to work on. Okay, so I bring that into here. Then I select down here to my bus, and I have what's called para bass. Drop that in there. Go up to here, user channel settings, and I have the para bass setting here. This just gives a little bit more of a twang to the strings, as you'll see in a minute. I can show you how I use that. Okay, so now what my next process is, I'll highlight a little bit here and I'll just start playing it. And again, I'm not going to mix too much here because I'm still waiting for the drum track, but I'll kind of get the nice sound that I like. And then I'll pause at that point till I get the drum track in, and then I'll get into getting the drums all sounding good. And then I'll start working on actually doing a proper mix and then the mastering. So for now, I'm going to work on getting the nice sound, and then I'll listen to the whole bass track and just make sure there's no obvious distortions or anything that sounds weird. Just to give you a quick rundown on my bass channel here, I use a bass amp just from Logic. I use the CLA's plugins. I use those. I've got all of these. These are really great to give a nice little fine tuning of sound. I have a couple of channel equalizers. I use a bass guitar here, which I've saved, pulling down a 2K for the vocals, and then enhancing them here. Again, I'll probably make some adjustments here if needed. Use a compressor with specific settings for a bass guitar. I'll use the Kramer tape emulation. It just sort of smooths it out nicely and makes it sound good. Again, I may or may not use this, and I'll make some tweaks as I go along. Okay, so let's just listen to this. And again, I can just disable these if I decide I don't want to use them, or tweak them sometimes, just depending on the song, and depends what guitar and amp my bass player uses. I may not need any of these, or I might need some more stuff. So let's just start with this and just start listening to it. I'll just listen to it with the whole song first up to this point just for a second, and then I'll probably isolate the bass, and let's listen to that. So let's try that now. Okay, so that's not too bad. So I just realized here I need to do a send to the parallel bass here. So I'll just go here and send that to here. Just crank it up a little bit. And listen to what it's doing. Do that. Just sort of brings in the high frequencies and layers it over top of the bass there. It just gives that a little extra depth. That's just a fun little thing that I do. So let's try that now. It's the reason for my pain in the season. Okay, so that's sounding pretty good. I don't really hear any obvious issues here. So I won't go through the whole video where I listen to the whole thing, but I will just listen to the whole bass track on its own, just make sure there's no feedback or any kind of deep rumbling sounds or any kind of weird artifacts. I'll make slight adjustments here to adjust for that. And I might play around with the bass amp a bit, or maybe this plug in here just to fine tune the sound slightly. And in this process, I'm just trying to get the right sound. So I just want to get the nice sound that I want, and then I have to wait until the drums come in. So that's what I'll be working on here. So we'll go ahead and work on that, and the drum tracks should be here. I'm just waiting for them. It's a weekend, so I'll hopefully get them fairly soon. And then once I get those, we'll pull those in, and I'll show you my process on how I treat the drums and fine-tune those, and then we'll work on the final mix. So that's it for now for the bass track, and in the next video, we'll start looking at the drum track and how I work on getting that all mixed together. And then the video after that, I'll actually get into the actual mixing of the whole track and show you my process there, and then on to the mastering. So thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe and share. Hit the notification bell so you can see when a new video comes in. That'd be great. Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.